Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. Welcome to my first quarter of the year 2025. And I'm gonna just let you know what I've been up to bring my art career forward. And I hope to bring you a lot of value just by giving some tips and letting you know what I'm doing and what I find is worth it and what isn't. First of all, I want to tell you that I have a crowdfunding campaign going on, and I would absolutely love for you to support me if you feel like it. I want to take part in an art fair in Zurich, Switzerland, which is my hometown, and it's really kind of expensive to rent the walls. So you pay for that, you rent the walls in order to be part of this art fair. And I decided to try a crowdfunding campaign. It starts as low as 10 bucks and you get postcards and you get notebooks all the way to art prints and originals from me. Everything is linked below. Maybe this is also interesting just for you to see how I set it up as an artist, what I offer as rewards, and to see whether it works or not. Let's get on with what I've been up to in this first quarter, 3 months. And I must say, it looks like a lot of art, but I've actually not made that much art. I'm coming from making 2 artworks each week, which is not my goal anymore, because now my goal is much more to be more specific about my portfolio, about my voice. It's not about quantity as much as quality right now anymore. Once you have a substantial portfolio that's enough for you to go to exhibitions with, basically, you want to be more careful about the energy and time you put into your painting, and that might slow you down. I have taken a course, I've told you already about it, and I barely made it to my studio during those 7 weeks. It was an art course about how to make it in this art world, basically. I learned how to put together my portfolio, my physical portfolio, and I made a video about that, leaving you through every page and letting you know what I was told needs to be in there. Also, I learned how to deal with the press and with galleries, and I will share some of that with you in this video. But I will also, that's going to be my next video, is how to deal with the press as an artist, or how to make sure you get into the press as an artist. For example, when and if you're putting together a show yourself. And that is my main takeaway from this course. To be honest, I kind of thought magically galleries are going to discover my work and be thrilled to exhibit it in their galleries. And that's not how it happens, no matter how much you post on Instagram. In fact, galleries are possibly not your very first thing that you approach. I have to be a little bit more specific because there are very different kinds of galleries. There are the vanity galleries and then the very high class galleries, and I will get to that a little bit later in the video. But my main takeaway from the course is that what you need to do as a beginner artist is have shows. As many shows as you can. That does not mean shows in galleries. You can put together your own shows. And you need to do that because a gallery of any kind of a standing will not take you very seriously as an artist if on your artist bio you don't have any shows. They want to have at least 5 shows per year to know that you're consistent and that you mean business as an artist. They put in a lot of money for you, they put in a lot of effort and energy into your career, and therefore they need to know that you're serious about it. So that was my main takeaway, and I was like, oh God, I don't want to have to organize my own shows. But I've come around and I am now understanding that that's exactly what I need to do. And I have contacted some people from places where people have shows, which are not necessarily always galleries. And I've even had my first show with a friend of mine. Having your own shows can also mean you have them in your studio. Open studios are considered shows and you can put them on your CV. Shows can be anywhere that you decide to organize it in. And you can even get funding for that. I don't know if you remember last year I did this open studio thing. It was a specific weekend where artists from the whole region had open studio day, and it was big in the press that that's the weekend when artists open their studios. And so you got a lot of press releases for that. And that's something I can put on my CV as a so-called show. Also, this course really tightened my purpose, my voice as an artist. He also made mock press interviews with us to practice kind of our artist elevator speech and how we sell our art and ourselves. And I will also make a video about that. So I had this show with my artist friend from that course. She invited me to have a show in her studio in Vienna. And that was wonderful because she said, you know, she always invites the same people. It'd be great to do that together because then I bring my people, she brings her people see my art, my people see her art. You know, win-win. Stuff like that gives you a lot of work. From putting paintings into nice frames, which makes a huge difference, to putting together the flyer, the invitations, the drinks, the food, informing the press. I put together a price list again. I had to transport all my stuff to the city. I had to hang it. Then I had to transport it back again. But you learn a lot. And also putting together the crowdfunding campaign. Oh my God, that was so much work. Not only the description and the photos that you need and all of that, but also then the rewards that people get, deciding do they get it with a frame or do they get it with a mat, and then organizing all of that, having all of that, designing the postcards, because I designed postcards with words on them. I designed notebooks with words. Lots of decisions to be made. It took a long time. And then I spent about 2 days writing to people, marketing my campaign. And I'm very curious whether that's gonna work out. Anyway, in spite of all of this, and there is more than that I did during these 3 months, I will show you a few of my artworks. Like I said, it's not that much. It's this one, I'm calling it After the Shift, which goes together with Stepping Through. I wanted to have two pieces that go together. They go together pretty well. Then I made these two that I call Tagebucheintrag im Februar. German title, because the English one doesn't work so well. And these three that I call Waiting. I am getting much clearer about what it is that I paint about, also due to the course. I always thought I paint other people. The teacher was like, that's you in there. I guess it's true. So a lot of powerlessness, a lot of feeling caught and trapped. I will not get into too much of why that is, but it was also so interesting again to see people react to my art at that show. And you know what I did? Oh my God, I have to show you. You might remember these three pieces where people come out of the frame. And I varnished it and ruined it. Oh. I wanted to varnish it for the show. And I do not know why. I had three and the other two are okay. It's the first time I used MDF board that I got at the DIY. And those boards have a brown side and a white side. And this one, I painted the brown side and apparently didn't put enough primer on. And the whole paint, I don't know if you can see it, but the whole paint just kind of slid off. It was pretty dramatic. So I actually decided to repaint it. So I'm repainting it. It's almost finished. I have never done that, but I already got better cutting out the cutouts. So you'll learn. Then I have two smaller ones that I've started. They're not finished. Where I tried a bit of a different style, because even I get a little tired of these googly-eyed faces sometimes, even though I think really my style and recognizable, maybe I should just stick with it, but I get tired of it sometimes. So I experiment with different things. They're not finished. I cannot rush myself until I know how to continue. Same with two very big ones that I have started. So one is here. The largest pieces I've ever done, and the one behind here that is at a very ugly duckling stage, so it's kind of intentional that it's hidden behind all these other paintings. And then three also started pieces that really don't look right now, because that's just the underpainting that's way too bright, but half three-dimensional, pushing through the canvas. There's another one where the little arm is coming out of the canvas. And there's a third one. I'm experimenting. More three-dimensional stuff is coming out of me. There's also this guy, also unfinished. I cannot always finish a piece and then move on to the next. Also because they need a lot of drying time and processing time in between. You know, I can do a step that takes me maybe 20 minutes, but then I have to wait until it's dry. And the drying time is long, so I'll move on to something else. Also with these big ones, you know, where I just start something, but it takes time for me. I can't force myself to continue stuff. So that is something you want to experiment with. But for me, that's natural to have lots. It doesn't stress me at all. It excites me. I literally go to the studio and ask myself, which one do I feel like continuing? Whereas if I have only one active painting going, I was often in that place where I was like, I don't feel like doing this, you know, and I would force myself, which isn't a bad thing, but I'd rather not have to force myself, you know, and there is always the point when I know now the moment has come to continue that. What I have also done, and what is very important, and I cannot stress this enough, go to exhibitions. I've been to exhibitions in like the highest class museum that we have in Vienna to see a contemporary artist, supposedly one of the highest paid female artists of our time. And I didn't even know who she was, Jenny Seville. And I was at an art fair, which was amazing. And I was at a gallery opening. And it's just super important that you see how these things function. And I was so inspired and motivated, and it's really, really good to do that. And you make contacts. I was also at another kind of a gallery thing. It's like something between an art fair and a gallery. So it's a huge open space with lots of walls, and you rent whatever amount of walls you want to rent for whatever amount of time you want to have it for, and there you can permanently exhibit, well, for the duration that you've paid, exhibit your artworks. So it's kind of like an art fair that is not limited in time. It's just there all the time, and people can go whenever they want to go. It's open every weekend for people who are interested in buying art or seeing art. They can just go there anywhere, and I just wanted to see whether it's an option for me. It's not that expensive. And there I also connected with other artists, and we talked how it would be good to have an opening together so that their people see the art of the other artists and vice versa. There are always artists who are also interested in showing their work and using shared spaces. So that was also some phone calls that I made because I needed some more information to find out whether I want to do that or not. I haven't done it yet. What I have done is an online gallery. I'm taking part with an online gallery. I was headhunted a little bit. It was not me contacting them, it was them contacting me. Nevertheless, it's a so-called vanity gallery. And that's what I meant earlier in the video, that I'm going to be talking about galleries. There are the vanity galleries, which are galleries where you pay in order to be shown. The art world knows about this, so it doesn't look very impressive to have it on your resume, but still, it's a show that you have on your resume, and that's what you need. It also gives you a lot of experience, and you might also sell some work. There are lots of online galleries, and this one that I'm with now, it has different pricings. You can go for a very cheap rate or you can go for a very expensive rate. Depending on which one you choose, they will promote you more or less, basically. And I'm just doing a trial run. I must say already, I've been getting so much more traffic to my homepage than ever in the past that I really think it's worth it. And apparently somebody has already inquired about one of my artworks there. And I have lots and lots of views on my artworks. They claim that I'm in the top 10% of looked at artists for the past month, which if that's true, that would be wonderful. So I'm gonna be evaluating and sharing with you whether I find that that's worth doing. And visibility is all that I'm working for right now. That's my main objective. But I can already tell you so much more worth doing than posting on Instagram every day. That didn't really get me much traffic at all. There was another vanity gallery that I contacted, and what I did, and I would suggest you do that, that's a great thing. I looked what other artists have been there, and I found somebody whose art I like very much, and I contacted her and I said, hey, look, I am interested in possibly doing that. Would you recommend this gallery? What has been your experience? I did the same thing with that Swiss art expo that I want to take part in summer, the one that I do the crowdfunding campaign for. I contacted artists who have been there and done it, and I asked them whether they would do it again, whether they can recommend it or not. And that has caused such great, one of them immediately wrote back and she's like, just call me, and gave me her number. And it's so nice to connect with artists. I tell you, it's so good to not feel out there on your own. Go have a coffee with them if they're in your region. Connect and opportunities will arrive. I promise you, if you do not only go digital, go for real life connections. That's where the opportunities wait more than online, even though I'm doing an online gallery thing now, but it's still, I really recommend you go out there in real life, look at real life exhibitions, look at real life art fairs, connect with real life artists, and you will get opportunities. I've now been contacted by other artists several times saying, hey, we have a group show. Maybe if you want to be part of it, send us your portfolio, stuff like that. It's wonderful. Generally though, I must say I have shifted gear to more office time. It's not something I'm crazy about, but I have come to understand that that is part of being an artist, and I'm gonna have to do it, especially as long as I don't have a gallery that does all that for me. And I don't mind doing the office stuff as much now that I'm basically selling a product that I love myself and that I'm really standing behind. I'd say I'm at 50-50, 50% office time, 50% studio time. I also have another job. So I hope in the next 3 months I will have more three-dimensional things to show. I hope to show you these paintings finished. The one that's in the ugly duckling stage right now, I think we'll get a time lapse. So you will see the ugly duckling stage anyway. And again, if you want to support my crowdfunding, I would be so grateful. That would be absolutely wonderful. I will definitely support yours if you should ever make one. So go out there, make contact with artists, organize your own shows, make open studios, inform the press, and I will have a video coming up very soon about how you do that. And I wish you a lot of great experiences out there in the real world, and have a wonderful creative time in the studio, and I'll see you again soon. I hope this was helpful. Please let me know in the comments. Ciao. Thank you so much for watching. I love having you here. I love the exchange between artists. So please give me a thumbs up, subscribe, click the notification bell, and leave me a comment if you'd like. I wish you so much joy for your own painting. You can also subscribe to my newsletter, and you can go visit my homepage if you're interested in what I'm up to. And I hope to hear from you. Take care. Bye bye.